Hello everyone and welcome back to another single button guide. Today we're going to talk about the Guardian Druid. I know this one has been very requested and so it's finally here. We are soon done with all the tanks. We just need basically 2 more tanks. Then I have all the tanks created for single button guide. Then we basically have all the healers we can do and all the tanks we can do, and we just need then all the DPSs. But let's wrap up the tanks first so we can jump to the DPSs after. But this time we have the Guardian Druid, and as always, we're going to go through the intro, which is now. We're going to go through stats, talents, rotation, and gameplay. So basically, gameplay is where I run a dungeon, so you can see me actually trying this build and see that it actually works. Rotation is, of course, rotation. Talents is where I'm going to show you my talents, and the stats is which stats I'm recommending. In case you want the talents that I do have, or else this UI here, the exactly UI, you can find it on my Discord. YouTube doesn't like when I put down very long strings in the comment section, so you will find them on my Discord. So join the Discord in the description, and there will be a room called Guardian Druid, and there will be the link, well, the export code for talents and also for the UI. And just a small remark, this video is a guide for Guardian Druid and playing with the single button assistance. It's very casual friendly. It's really great for running normal dungeons, heroic dungeons, time walking dungeons, looking for raid. You can even do probably like a few mythic keys, like 1 to 5, something like that, as long as you remember to use your utilities. If you really only use number 1, I wouldn't recommend doing mythic keys, but if you actually use your entire kit you have here, you can do mythic keys like no problems at all. But what about we just jump into it? So stats. So usually I always show like the stats that I recommend for using the single button, and the stats I recommend for like just generally, or what the major pages are saying. But in this case here, it's all the same. So as you can see, first of all, we are recommending agility. What I mean by that is I would always recommend to go with the highest eye level. That means if you get 2 different items and one of them has a high eye level, I would go with that. Secondly, we're going to go with versatility. Versatility is great because it increases the damage you do, it reduces the damage you take, and it also increases the healing you make. As you can see, here it go, increased damage and healing done by 6% and decreased damage taken by 3. And that's because I have 6% versatility right now. I'm not really geared for a Guardian on this character here. Then we have haste. It's going to reduce your global cooldown, especially very nice when we are using the single button assistance, since the single button assistance is generally giving us as 25% longer global cooldown. As you can see here, if I move it down here, so it gives us a longer global cooldown. So of course, haste is just helping us to even make it faster. Also, all the spells you have that has green cooldowns like this is going to be reduced, like it will have a shorter cooldown the more haste you have, which is very nice. Like for example, Mangle, Frenzy Restoration. So very nice spells that we would like to have less cooldown on. Also, haste just makes you faster, attack faster, faster rage generation, you know, a lot of nice things. So versatility first, because that basically increases the damage, reduces the damage you take, also increase self-healing, well, basically healing. Haste, because it just makes the entire rotation much more smooth. Mastery is a bit differently, increase your maximum health and healing received by 70%, also increase your attack power by 24. So basically mastery is just increasing our max health and the healing we receive, which is it's kind of nice. Some people would say, why isn't this in front of versatility? Well, versatility actually decreases the damage we take, where this is not decreasing the damage we take. It just gives us more health, but more health equal more healing for the healer, but less damage taken is just better in overall usually. So overall, mastery is still going to go on, not the last place, but the second last one. And then we, of course, the very last one, we have crit. And crit isn't, I mean, it has a chance to make our spell double, the healing double, but it's not something that is just super useful for Guardian Druid, so try avoid crit as much as possible. But again, my main recommendation would be go with highest eye level, especially when we are playing with this single button build. So let's talk about talents. Talents are always the most exciting thing, also of course with the rotation of the gameplay, but talents is also always like, how are you building your build? I have tried to make a build that is very reliable on passives, and also things that goes into the single button rotation. Some people would say, why are you not playing Druid of the Claw? Druid of the Claw is very nice if you, for example, also want to like switch between cat form and bear form, as I understand it, which we are not really interested in because the single button assistant doesn't support it. That's why we gotta go with Elune's Chosen, because it's the most simple one for the single button rotation, especially because the main spell that is, some of the main spells we're gonna use, for example, as Lunar Beam, is also in the single button rotation. So this build here, hero talent here, is just so much nicer for the single button rotation. And also right now it's the most popular between Guardian Druid, so it's not a bad thing as well. It's also the right meta. Yes. So let's go through the talents that I mean is, so we're not going to go through everything. That would just be me reading up, like there would be no point doing that. But then I'm just going to show you the highlights of the talents in this build that I like and I would say is important for this single button rotation. So first of all, we of course have Iron Fury. Iron Fury is like Iron Fury, I don't know how you say that word, but Iron Fury is like the most important defensive spell you have. It basically increases our armor by, in this case you can see 63,000 for 9 seconds. Right, normally we have an armor on 50,000 in my case. 50,000, it gives me more than double. It gives me more than I have. Like, it's basically a double and additional, a little bit more. So it gives us insane amount of armor, which, if you try, the main goal here is to keep this up all the time, and you can even stack them on top of each other. So the main goal is to keep this up all the time. And I'm going to come back to rotation in the next chapter, in the next section we're going to talk. And when we go to rotation soon, I'm going to talk about how you manage this one here with the single button rotation. But this is absolutely the most important one. Beside of all here, I really like to have symbiotic relationship. It basically is great to put on your healer whenever you heal, whenever they heal. You kind of like keep sharing healing between you, like you and him or her. But it's just like sharing healing between you guys. So it's just like a really nice like passive healing. We also had Nature's Vigil, which for 15 seconds all single target damage also heal a nearby friendly target for 20% of the damage done. So basically when you pop this cooldown, all your single target spells is just like popping healing all over the place, which is a super nice little support spell for your team. I like this one here a lot. Beside of this one here, we're still over on the left side. I'll tell you when we get to the next time. We also have this one here. When a hit deals more than 12% of your maximum health, instantly heal 10% of your health, and it can only happen every 30 seconds. So basically, whenever you get like a very big hit, boom, 10% healing back again, which is quite nice. It works every 30 seconds, so it's kind of like a little, failover plan. We also have this one here, which is super nice. Whenever you fall below 40% health, you cast Frenzied Regeneration up to once every 120 seconds. So basically, every 120 seconds, we are using our self-heal, which heals us for 20% of our health, and also increase our healing received by 20%. So boom, like the moment you hit 40%, it's using that healing automatically without taking a charge of it, and then just heals you 20% of your health. Of course, you can take a talent down here, which is basically increasing so that it can trigger every 90 seconds instead of every 120 seconds. You could, for example, take up something like you could maybe remove Typhoon or Nature's Vigil, or even like Incapacitating Roar. But those are like just nice also to have. But I don't really feel the 30 seconds is a big difference between these, so that's why I haven't taken that one. But that's everything on the left side here in the hero talents. Some small remarkable things is, for example, we have taken Typhoon, which is very nice for like if you have like 5 enemies in front of you casting spells, you can use Typhoon and interrupt them all. The same this one here can do, Incapacitating and Roar. It also interrupts everyone in front of you or around you, which is super nice. So it's just really nice. Like it really helps the team to like doing crowd control. You could technically remove them and take some more self-sustain to be even buff, but it's just such a nice spell to like interrupt. Like it's 2 interrupts in the same time. But again, you could also remove them, even take some more range on your spell. You can even get some more free, for example here, 5 movement speed in bear form. But else I would say just keep this, because those 2 interruptions can can be a lifesaver sometimes. Beside of that, we are going for the next section here. So we also have here Lunar Amplification. Each non-arcane damage ability ability you use increase the damage of your next arcane damage ability by 3%, stacking up to 3 times. So basically, if you cast like 3 normal attacks, like like Mangle, all those like bear attacks, then they keep like increasing your next arcane spell. And the cool thing is that we of course have Moonfire in the rotation. Moonfire is automatically in the rotation and will be automatically used. So basically it just increases the Moonfire damage. Also it increases Lunar Beam. And we also have other, which I'll come back to that, whatever I was about to say. Next, we also have this one here. So basically, Boundless Moonlight is pretty nice because when we do use Lunar Beam over here on the right side, Lunar Beam now causes you to leech life equal to 10% of all damage dealt to enemies within the beam. So basically, whenever you deal damage inside that beam, you also heal 10% of the damage you deal, which is very nice. Then we also have here the Eternal Moon. Lunar Beam increased mastery by an additional 10%, deals 30% increased damage, and lasts 3 seconds longer, which is nice because then we have the leech for longer time, we have a lot of mastery, and if you remember, mastery is increasing our health and also healing received, which is nice, and also deals 30% increased damage and 3 seconds longer, so cannot really complain about that one. Beside of that one, we also have in here, so this one here. Moonfire damage has a chance to call down a Fury of Elune to follow your target for 3 seconds. And when it actually uses, call down a beam of pure celestial energy dealing 200,000 damage over 3 seconds. So basically, whenever you use Moonfire damage, so every time like Moonfire actually deals damage, it has a chance to call down Fury of Elune, which is nice. One of the reasons why this is nice is because it generates 18 rage over its duration. So yes, it's a passive damage that has a chance to like happen, but also it gives a rage. So yeah, I was just about to forget what that one actually did. That's why I looked a bit lost, but now I remember. It's a nice extra rage generation. Lastly, we have this one here called Lunar Calling. Thrash now deals, and this is what I was about to say before. Thrash, however you say it, now deals arcane damage, and its damage is increased by 12. So basically that means the spell here you have here called Thrash is actually arcane. It's an arcane spell now. As you can see, it deals arcane damage, which is why I believe this one here is kind of working. I think it's working with it because each non-arcane damaging ability you use increases the damage of your next arcane damage ability, and I guess now Thrash is actually an arcane ability, so when you use your other spells you're actually going to increase the damage of Thrash. That's what I believe, since it is a arcane damaging ability. That I haven't double checked it, but I believe it. But again, it's not like a big game changer, it just like increases the damage. And to very quickly finish off the talent, we have over here Innate Resolve. Frenzied Restoration healing is increased by up to 120% based on your missing health, and also Frenzied Restoration has 1 additional charge. So basically your Frenzied Restoration now has 2 charges, and also it heals 120% additionally based on your missing health. So when you use Frenzied Restoration, let's say like normally it heals you 20%. If you use it like when you have like 10-20%, it's probably gonna like double the healing, and you're gonna like be healed like 40%, which is pretty great if you ask me. So it's really nice. It kind of reminds of what Guardian Protection Paladin used to have, where they heal like more based on how much less HP they have. This one here is insane. So Reinvigoration, Frenzy Restoration heals 2% additional heals over 2% additional seconds, which is of course nice because that means more healing. But it also casts a rejuvenation and regrowth on you at 200% effectiveness, which is insane. So every time you use Frenzied Restoration, it's basically gonna throw a rejuvenation on you and also a regrowth, which is this one here, regrowth, and this one here. So basically 2 damage over time on yourself. So now Frenzied Restoration heals yourself for what it is, but also it adds 2 other healing over times as well on you, which for 200% additional healing, like boom, that's insane. When I played Guardian Druid in Season 1, this was not a thing. I am pretty sure that was not a thing. But if that was a thing, I would be like, yeah, boy, that is so cool. So yeah, that one is, it's like you can do any solo content and you're not gonna die. You are not gonna die. So as well, this one here, Loon's Favored. So while you are in beer form, you deal 10% increases arcane damage, and are healed 20% of all arcane damage done, which it makes even more sense with the arcane spells we have here. And as well, this one here where Trash now deals arcane damage. So every time Trash deals direct damage and also damage over time, because it is a damage over time spell. Imagine you're using Trash on 5 enemies. Now they're gonna take arcane damage all the time passively, because it's a dot, a damage over time, and now that is gonna heal you all the time. So it is insane how much Guardian Druid has in self healing. I'm amazed. Besides that, we have this one here. Your damage has a 5% chance to trigger free automatic moonfire on the target. Very nice. So basically, when you damage them, there's a 5% chance that they get a moonfire on them. When this occurs, the next moonfire you cast generate 8 rage, and deals 300% increased damage. And of course, that damage is also going to self-heal us from Elun's Favored. Just saying it, it's a crazy self-heal. But yeah, it's crazy. Like, it deals 300% increased damage and Moonfire, and of course this one is going to heal us based on that arcane damage. So, pretty wild. The last one is, of course, Lunar Beam, which is summon a beam of lunar light at your location. So basically at your location where you are, increasing your mastery by 30, which is going to increase the healing we receive, and also how much HP we have, and also dealing 500k arcane damage over 11 seconds. And healing you for 2.5 million over 11 seconds. Again, another self-healing. So, I mean, we got self-healings, we got self-healing. It's just like, I can't see how we're gonna die. Like, it's insane. So, yeah. So that's the talent. A very, very cool self-healing, sustainable talent. We, of course, have good damage. So, yeah, a good Arcane Guardian Druid tank with, of course, some CC abilities, which is up to you if you want to keep or if you want to remove them. But I think you're gonna love this talent. So let's talk about rotation. So before we dive into rotation, there is 2 things you can do, because we have a defensive spell called Iron Fury, which is basically the most important spell. It gives us double armor, and it just makes the healer's life so much easier, and you're also gonna like sustain you're just gonna survive so much more. There's 2 things you can do. You can either use the single button rotation and then have Iron Fury next to it like I have here, and you need to press it every 9 seconds. You can even stack it so like you have a double on it. But you just need to have it up all the time. I cannot say it even more like importantly. You need to have Iron Fury on you all the freaking time. Or you can do this trick here, which I know a lot of people have done. They basically have made a macro here where you can see show tooltip, cast single button assistant, cast Iron Fury. What it basically does so the bad thing, of course, is that it replaces the icon, which means you can see here that it's now using this icon here instead, where this one here, the normal button, shows which spell it's going to use next time, which of course you're going to learn from as well, so you know what the rotation usually is. But this one here basically replaces it with this icon here. Of course, you can, in the macro, you can choose whatever icon you want. But now, when you press your single button all the time, just like press 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, it will automatically use Iron Fury. As you can see now, I have Iron Fury active here, and it will just keep every single time you get 40 rage. You can see up here, now we have 200k more armor because it stacks. So it will just keep stacking it as much as possible with your rotation, which, like, you're not going to be able to die. The healers are going to love you because you keep it up all the time. No one is going to complain about that. Like, it's super, super nice. But you might ask, why are you giving me the option to do this and not do this? Why shouldn't we all just do it? Well, the thing is, it keeps using all the rage on Iron Fury. Every time you get rage, it keeps using it. In this single button rotation, we have spells like, as you can see, there is Maul, for example. Maul uses 40 rage to deal almost 300k damage just ASAP. And if I remember right, did we actually have one here? No, we actually did not take anything that increases Maul's damage, like, because you could take this one here, raise, which basically replace it and deal a lot of damage, but we haven't taken anything that just makes Maul like nah, so it's actually not that important. But the thing is, like, you're gonna be keep using you're gonna be, if you use this macro here, you will be keep using Iron Fury, which basically means you're not gonna be casting as many Maul as you would normally do, because you know, if you used this other one here instead, the normal single target rotation here, you would see that every time we get rage, we will also be using Maul. As we can see in 2 seconds here, well, now it will use Maul. And we can see the damage here on my screen, that it actually is a quite good damage source. Right now it's number 3 most damage spell right now. So you can see it just deals, it deals quite a lot of damage. You can see here on my stats, like now it's the one that actually dealt most damage. If you go back now, here you can see Maul. It deals a lot of damage. So it's kind of up to you. Do you want to use the single button rotation, the normal one, where you can see the spells that switches, but also it will use a lot of damage, like it will do way more damage because it will keep using Maul for you, but then you have to manually keep up Iron Fury. So basically you would have to press 2 buttons. I know it's a single button rotation, but now I'm asking you to click 2 buttons. What you basically are going to do is you're going to keep using Iron Fury, and you can see your Iron Fury here, and whenever it's about to like go down to 0, you press 2 again, and then, you know, press 2, there we go. So basically you just keep using 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and whenever it's about to go off, you press 2, and, you know, and then you just go 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, and 2. So you can see, that is how I personally myself would play, because then I would do most damage with Maul, and I still can keep Iron Fury up because I will just press it whenever this bar here goes down to 0. You might ask me, what is this bar here? How can I see that? Very easy. You just go into options, you go to gameplay enhancement, you enable cooldown manager. But it's going to give you a lot of crap on your screen which you don't want. So with this UI I have given you, we have disabled all the crap. You can see this crap here. Utility cooldown, essential cooldown, all this I have set to hidden and hidden. But this will always already be hidden in that export code I have given you on my Discord. But you can do that yourself. But basically in here you can see now we have this one here called Tracked Bars. That's the one we want. That's the one that shows Iron Fury when we have to use it again. So personally, I would play with a single button rotation and then use Iron Fury whenever, you know, it has to be used, whenever it's about to drop off. And of course, you're also allowed to use it multiple times because it stacks and gives you even more armor. So of course, mainly through the dungeon, you could probably just keep it up every time it's about to go off. If you're fighting a boss and you know he's going to deal a lot of damage, which bosses usually do, or you just pulled 10 mobs in the dungeon and you know this is going to hurt, then of course use all your rage and Iron Fury all the time. But again, if you just want to have an easy time and make sure that your Iron Fury is used as much as possible, then use the macro as I showed you. It will also be in the Discord, by the way. But then use the macro, it's just going to keep like using... you know, it's going to keep using Iron Fury as much as possible. But again, that's up to you which one you want to use. So as we can see again, the rotation here, when I use the macro, we haven't seen a Maul being used yet, because every time I get threats, it's going to be used in Iron Fury, which means it's going to deal less damage. If you don't mind that it's going to deal less damage, that's fine. But just every time we get 40 rage, it's going to use Iron Fury, which of course is nice because it's going to give a lot of stats. It's going to be on all the time. No one is going to complain about that you are killable. So it's probably debatable. I might even use this macro here, but you give up a lot of damage from Maul. So it's up to you. I will leave it on your shoulders. So basically, yeah, again, whenever you do a dungeon, whenever you do a boss, you just have to press 1, like you just keep pressing 1. It will automatically switch between AoE spells, single target spells. It will automatically use your, well, as you can see here, it automatically uses your bear form, lunar bear, beam, mangle, mourn, moonfire, swipe, trash. So don't worry about the rotation. It's going to use everything for you. As you can see right now here, it's actually not able to use all the rage we have. So we do need to throw Iron Fury a couple of times to actually manage all our rage. But still, because I'm using the normal one, it's using more into the rotation, which of course deals a lot of damage. Then we have Iron Fury. Try always to keep it up all the time. When you use it one time, it gives you 63k armor. When you use it 2 times, it gives you 126. And it just keeps stacking, 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 stacking. So again, that's again up to you if you want to use the macro, which keeps using it so you're not killable, or you want to use it also you manually with your normal single button rotation. Whenever you need a self-heal, then we have Frenzied Regeneration, which is ready every 30 seconds. Remember from the talents that it automatically gets used also here whenever you get to 40% health. It doesn't use one of your charges here. So basically use number 1 for always, like always, just press 1 all the time. Use number 2 whenever you like need to, you know, put up Iron Fury. That should always be on all the time, like it needs to be on all the time. So, you know, keep it up all the time. You can sometimes maybe have a problem with the normal single button rotation because it keeps using more. So sometimes you're going to fight over getting that rage to actually Iron Fury. So again, it's like, yeah, that macro is good at, well, it is good because it actually uses all your rage on Iron Fury. So maybe the macro is best because it's going to make sure that you're not going to die. But it's also going to remove a lot of damage, which is debatable. Beside of that, we have Growl, which is basically our taunt. So that means every time you're attacking a mob and they somehow attack the DPS because he's dealing way too much damage, then you can use Growl and the mob will go back to you. It's a taunt. Then on number 5, we have Wild Charge, which is a charge. Just like warriors have a charge, we also have a charge, which is coming from this one here. And the number 6 is also a charge, but it's not supposed to be used as a charge because it doesn't have a long range. It's an interrupt. So if it's about to cast a Chaos Bolt, Power Blast, something big on me, then you use number 6 and it stops whatever it was about to cast on you. Also, you can see here Typhoon and Incapitating Roar is also interrupting. So you basically have 3 interrupt spells here, which is super nice. This one here pushes everyone in front of you, so they get like pushed back and also interrupted. This one here interrupts everyone around you, which is also very nice. So basically 3 interrupt spells. Then we also have a Remove Corruption. It basically, if you have a corruption on yourself, you can use it. It removes corruption of you. You can use it on party members, and it doesn't go out of bear form, which is very nice. So you can actually, like, if you can see your healer doesn't remove corruptions, it basically removes remove all curses and poison. So curses and poison. So if you see someone have a curse on them or poison, which is very important to remove, and somehow the healer is not doing it, you can actually help. And we have the spell here. We are not able to remove it because then we're not going to be able to get the trio here, which is increasing magical damage and healing increased by 6. So we don't want to miss this one here. So that's why we do need to have Remove Corruption. If you want to use it down here, that's up to you. It's just kind of like, you know, helping. You can also use it on yourself to remove again curses and poison. Then we have Barskin, a very, very strong cooldown. It deals damage, as you can see, it pulses around you, but that's because of one of our talents. So basically, why is it not coming up here? Bark, skin. There we go. We have this one here, which is a sharp brand protect you, absorbing and reflecting 5,000 damage on each attack, but also while Barskin is active, the Bramble also deals 6,000 nature damage to all nearby enemies every second. So basically it kind of like pulses, it keeps like pulsing and dealing damage. It's very nice to do like aggro with because default, it reduces all damage you take by 40% and also increase healing received by 20% and preventing damage from delaying of your spell cast. Usable in stun, frozen, blah, 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 blah. So again, it reduces the damage we take by a lot. It increases damage we receive, and it does this AoE damage all the seconds. which is going to help you keep aggro on a lot of mobs. So let's say that you're about to like, you know, aggro 5 mobs over there. You could use it on at the same time you're going to aggro them, which is going to help you keep aggro on the mobs as well. So yeah, bark skin can be used every 45 seconds. So my recommendation is use it all the time. Then we have Nature's Vigil, which is basically, again, every time you use single target damage, it's going to self-heal yourself. Well, it's going to self-heal a party member or yourself. Like you can see, a single target damage also heals a nearby friendly target for 20% of the damage done. But it pretty much also works on ourselves. As you can see, it should be working on ourselves. It basically tries to heal anyone in your party. So it could be you, it could be like a party, it could be anyone it heals. It do say, you know, like a friendly target, but I'm pretty sure it's gonna heal whatever it can. We also have Incarnation Guardian of Ursak, which is basically an improved bear form that grants the benefits of Berserk, cause Mangle to hit up to 3 targets, and increase maximum health by 30%. And also all the Berserk we have in here, you can see we have like 3 Berserks in here, which go Berserk for 50 seconds, reduce the cooldown of Mangle, Trash, and Growl by 50%. We also have Go Berserk for 50 seconds, increasing haste by 15, reducing the rage of cost of Maul, and also Go Berserk for 15 seconds, reducing the cooldown of Frenzy Regeneration. So basically reducing the cooldown of Frenzy Regeneration by 100% and cost of Iron Fury. So basically when you cast this one here, then for 30 seconds, you will be able to use unlimited Frenzied Regeneration, you know, self-healed, unlimited of them, because there's no cooldown on it. You can use Iron Fury a lot because it's cost 50% less. You can throw a lot of mauls. You can do, like, your Mangle is gonna hit, what was it, like, your Mangle is gonna hit up to 3 target. You just basically become an overpowered bear form. So as you can see here, you just become an overpowered bear form, you hit more mobs, you deal more damage. I can use my Frenzied Regeneration as much as I want. Like, look at this. I could just spam my Frenzied Regeneration without, because it doesn't have a cooldown when it's on. And my Iron Fury costs only 20, so that one can also be spammed. This one here makes your Maul, as we saw here, that reduce the cost of Maul, and also reduce the so basically it reduced the cost of Maul, which of course means that the single bottom rotation is going to deal even more damage because it can use Maul even more. That's of course again a debatable if we should use the one with macro with Iron Fury. Again, it's kind of like, do you want to deal most damage, then use the normal single bottom rotation? Do you want to like have more self defense, then use the macro, since it's going to be keep casting Iron Fury? But yeah, it's just a freaking overpowered bear form that's just going to do so much for you. Then we have Survival Instinct. Basically reduce all damage you take by 60% for 6 seconds, but it has a very long 3-minute cooldown. But it's like, oh, I'm gonna take some really heavy damage, which are gonna do really nasty to me. You use it, then 6 seconds, you're gonna take it for 60% less damage. We also have Heart of the Wild, which is an interesting spell, because basically Heart of the Wild, here we go. So basically Heart of the Wild is increasing your druid abilities outside of your normal. So abilities not associated with your specialization are substantially empowered. Basically, if you're using balance spells, the cast time of balance spells is reduced by 30 and damage increased by 20. I'm pretty sure this one works on Moonfire since it is a balance spell. So Moonfire should be doing increased damage. Feral gains 1 combo point every 2 seconds, and cat form and physical damage increased by 20. So technically you could go out into cat form and deal a lot more damage. But the most important one is Restoration. Healing increased by 30 and mana cost reduced by 50. So that basically means we're going to be healing more. And you know, when we use Frenzied Regeneration, so for example, if I use it, and I use Frenzied Regeneration, we are casting a regrowth and a regeneration on ourselves, which I am pretty sure is increased from this healing here. So again, it's a little buff that basically makes us a bit more like overpowered druid that can, you know, every time you cast a healing spell, it's going to heal more because of this one here. It's not like omega important one, it's just like, it's nice. It's nice. It's just nice to have. Like, it's nice. But you could play without it, you could play with it, it's kind of up to you. Beside of that, we already talked about the crowd control spells here. Remember, you also have your symbiotic relationship, which I'm having here, which of course we can only use one time, which of course means that every time this one here gets healed, or I get healed, we heal each other. So as you can see here, now here, if I do damage here, we should, yeah, you can see there, my healing, 10, I think it's like 10% of it, right? Yeah, 8% keeps going to each other. So you can see, like, I keep healing him, he keeps healing me, stuff like that. It's pretty cool. As you can see, it's already healed like 600k, so it's nice. It's nice. And of course, if I pop self-healing on myself, it heals a lot on the healer. So it's just a nice way to keep a healer, whatever, alive. And of course, when they get healing, you get healing. So very nice. Then on top of here, I just have dash. Basically, dash is just making you run fast in cat form. I also have innovate, which basically if you throw it on a healer, then you could also throw it on yourself. Well, actually, you can't do that. You need to cast it on a healer. It has to be like a specific healer, like this. Now, all healing they do is reduce mana cost, reduced by 100 for 8 seconds. So if you see your healer is about to go out of mana, throw it on them, and now they can throw as many healings they want for 8 seconds. We also have Rebirth, which is the combat rest. You can see here, combat rest. If someone dies, bring them back from death. We also have Stampeding Roar, which is very nice because that one can actually make everyone run faster, and you can use it inside bear form. Maybe we should actually have it over there because it's like a bit more important, since it makes everyone run faster even in bear form. Then we have a bit crowd control. We have Entangle Roots, which basically, basically roots the target like this, roots them. And we also have Ursok's Vortex. When you use it and the mobs they're trying to run out of it, they get dragged back. So pretty nice, like, they run out, they get dragged in. We also have Soothe, which is a nice spell. It basically soothes the target, dispelling all enrage effects. So if if you have a mob that has like a lot of enrage on them, so they deal more damage, you just use it on it, and boom, now all the enrage is gone. And then of course I have my self-healing via regrowth. In case I have interrupted the mobs, maybe I have used my Ursox, maybe I have pushed them away or stunned them, and the healer is dead or something, I can go out quickly and self-heal, especially if I use my Heart of the Wild and then go back into the bear form again. Don't do this if you're like tanking a boss, because then he's just going to one-shot you when you go out of your bear form. And of course, remember to use Mark of the Wild always, because Mark of the Wild is good. It's a buff that gives versatility to everyone, and as you know, we like versatility. So that's the rotation. Now we're gonna go to the gameplay video. I'm gonna run a dungeon. You're gonna be watching me play the dungeon, and I'm just gonna give you a lot of like comments on what I'm doing and how it feels, and so on, so on, so on. But yeah, that was the intro, the stats, the rotation, the talents, and again on my Discord you will be able to find my UI, and also you'll find my talent key. So yeah, let's get to the gameplay. So here we go. So as you can see, I will start with just pressing 1, and it will automatically throw up my rotation. Use 2 every time I don't have an Iron Fear on. Going in casually. Again, it will automatically switch to ranged abilities whenever we need them. And whenever we get close, it will automatically switch to trash and stuff like that. And I'm gonna try and keep Iron Fear up automatically, because I want to try and see if I can do as much damage as possible. So we're automatically gonna be casting Iron Fear every time that it pops off. As I talked about in the video, you can either use the macro where it automatically uses Iron Fear, or you can try the one where where you manually have to use it. I guess it comes down to like how hard content you actually do. In this case here, it's a bit chaotic pull, because they attacked whatever they wanted, this puck group. So I've been needed to use Growl a couple of times. But again, so far just pressing 1, and I can see I do have a little I sometimes forget to actually use my Iron Fuel. So let's try use the macro instead, which we talked about. Now it's of course not going to use more because it's going to keep spamming Iron Fuel. But at least you can see my Iron Fuel is up all the time now. It's never like it's never gonna like disappear now. We of course don't have a maul now, which is going to do less damage, but at least I have the Iron Fuel up 100% of the time. And also, of course, because we're running with the macro, we're not able to see what the next ability is. We could, of course, put down the single button rotation somewhere else in the screen. Then it would still show us what the next spell is going to be used. There we go. And bus time. Still using the macro, as we can see. Keeps using Iron Fuel. We just press 1. Whenever we needed a cell field, we would use number 3, Prince of Restoration. If we needed to get some macro, we would use 4. 5 for the charge, 6 for the interrupt. Not really needed at the moment. Let's loot and mount up. And let's go again. Pressing 1, 1, 1. And now we can see people are losing health. So now I'm going to use my E, which is basically going to be like spamming healing on all my party members. Now I'm going to be, you can see down here healing. It's really going to heal everyone now because of this cooldown. My E ability, Nature's Vigil. Everyone is taking a lot of damage. So now I'm going to use my overpowered bear form, Guardian of Ursak. It still doesn't stop everyone from taking damage since it's a lot of AoE damage, and I don't know who just pulled all that. That's not good. At least you can see my health is not moving at all. I got super strong self-heal from this. Which is good. Like, my health is solid. It's not moving at all. It's just everyone else dying, but I can't really heal them since my spec is mostly healing myself. But I usually main a healer, so I know the struggle of this one here. Since we somehow already have pulled all this, I don't know who did that. We're just gonna go over here. We're gonna interrupt that one. We didn't interrupt it fast enough, so well, I think we had to like stun them or push them, which was my bad. I could have used my S2, my S3, my Typhoon, my Incapacitating Roar to stop them, since you need to like kind of like stun them or something like that. Choose our charge. Wrong charge though. But again, I mean, look at this. We are keeping aggro on everything. We're dealing a lot of damage. It's nice. Look at the damage done. We are rocking the damage, we're rocking the healing. Of course the healing is, this one is actually a bit cheating. It comes from my ring. Well, let's use the overpower bear form to deal a bit more damage. And let's switch back to the normal single button rotation, because now it's gonna deal like so much more damage with Maul. Gonna use Iron Fury to keep that one up. Gonna use the one that, so we actually heal everyone for our single target damage. There we go. Probably the thing is, like, when you run the normal single button rotation, you deal so much more damage because of your Maul. So it's hard really for me to go with the macro or go with the normal single button rotation. Of course, with the normal single button rotation, you just have to keep remembering using Iron Fury yourself. Oh, they pulled. These people really like to pull, huh? Iron Fury. Still haven't had to use my single what is it called? My Friends of Restoration, my self heal. Though I should be using my Baskin more often because it deals more damage and it like deals AoE damage. Reduces damage taken by 40%. So I should be using that all the time. I just forget it. Technically, we could put that into the macro as well. Then it would use Baskin all the time, but kind of like better. Like I kind of like to have it like whenever I need it in a situation. So now I'm remembering to using Iron Fury myself. Actually, it works great as well using this way, because you just keep using 2 whenever you can. Now we're gonna start with Baskin, pull, press 1, so all my single target damage heals. Getting out of the spin, pressing 1. Use my F ability, my survival, my overpowered bear form R, and keep using Iron Fury up, of course. Iron Fury needs to be up all the time. And let's stack it a bit, so now it gives me like insane amount of armor. There we go. That was probably the most relaxed dungeon I've done as a tank ever. Like, we did so much damage, we did so much healing, like, it was just like a good run, like a really good run. And when we were like pressing 1, like all the time, just pressing 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. And of course, we need to keep up Iron Fury all the time. We have our self-healing whenever we need it. It basically throws free healings on you. It's super overpowered for keeping aggro. Remember, it's up to you if you want to use this macro here, where it automatically uses Iron Fury. That's up to you. Do you want most damage, most Iron Fury? Up to you. Like, you decide. Again, join my Discord if you want the talent export key, and as also the UI export key. So yeah, thanks for watching, and looking forward for you to see my next video. In case you don't know, I have all the healers single bottle rotation guides up, and I got almost all the tanks up. I only need the monk tank after this one, and then I got all the tanks as well. So we got all the healers, all the tanks, and then I'm gonna start on the DPS. So thanks for watching, have a great day, and I'll see you in my next guide.